Yerp. What's goody team? Welcome to this weekend's weekly market breakdown for November 9th through the 14th, I believe. I just want to give everybody a few more minutes. 3 more minutes to join. Oh man. We'll give everybody another 3 minutes to join. And then we'll get started, guys. Again, as always, we'll be going over the pairs you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name. Starting off with AUDUSD, finishing off with USOIL. We'll be going in order from the top to the bottom. We'll be going over the daily time frame, update our daily highs, daily lows. We'll go over the 4 hour, do the same thing, 4 hour highs, 4 hour lows, see if there's any continuations for the week. And then do the same thing for the 30-minute time frame, look for our 30-minute highs, 30-minute lows, look for any continuations going into the new trading week. Shouldn't be a longer session than maybe an hour. If there's no questions, then I'll get through these pairs one by one. If there's questions in the chat, you guys want to ask any questions, any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you guys. Alright team, let's get started. So, first pair of the night, we're going to be going over, well, first and foremost, let's start with the news for the week. Alright, let's get started off correctly. Okay, so this could be good news. Right, last time there was a stimulus check, markets went crazy. But let's think of the obvious here and really put everything in perspective, right? So last time there was a stimulus check, right, markets were down. Prices were at a way lower rate than what they are now, right? When you think about Bitcoin, what are we at right now? Let's see, do we go up or down in the week? We should be at 100 still. Yeah, we're still at 104, right? Markets are at 104,000 for Bitcoin. Ethereum is at 3,500, right? And then the last one that we really look at, that everybody should be looking at, which is XRP, we're sitting at $2.30. Now, when we look at the indexes, looking at US30, We're at 47,000. We're in the highest point in the market. We're at peak high territory still, right? We're at the highest point in the market at 47,000. When we look at the S&P, we're at 6.7, right? Same thing as US30, highest point in the market, right? And then, you know, you could go look at NASA, it'll be the exact same thing. So, already understanding that we're at the highest point in the market right now. Do I believe that the market's going to react the same way if the president ends up doing this? Do I think price is going to go up? Do I think people will react the same way that they did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever that last stimulus check was? I don't believe so. Right? A couple years ago, people got their stimulus check. I believe it was $1,500 or $2,500, something like that. And everybody, I'm telling you, like almost everybody, right, put their money in Bitcoin, put their money in ETH. Do I think they'll do that this time around? I don't think so. Right? We're at a point right now where we're just speaking about the US, right? Because I could only speak about what's happening here in the US. You know, prices are up. The only thing that's been up and down for the last 4 or 5 months have been the gas prices, anywhere from 260 to 320, 330. And it's fluctuating every week, every so often. It goes from 270 back to 330, back to 260, back to 310, and then stabilizes at 310 and 270. Outside of gas, you know, prices to eat have increased. You go to the supermarket, everything is inflated. You know, rent, obviously, light bills, etc., etc., etc. All of that has increased. So do I believe that people here, especially, you know, we're speaking about who is going to be receiving this money. It's not going to be high income families. It's going to be families who make less than 125,000 or 150, something like that. Remember, here in the States, the median, I believe, is 64,000. If you're not making if you're not making 6 figures, it's very difficult to live here. So do I believe that low income families, quote unquote low income families, right, middle class, do I believe they're going to take that cash and put it in the market? I do not believe it. I don't think so. I don't think so. However, again, could it happen? Absolutely. So just keep an eye on this. This could definitely move the market higher if people end up reacting the same way and putting the money in the market. If not, then again, at the end of the day, guys, the easiest thing to do in the market when you're unsure of something, look at structure. The good thing about what we do here, that's all we do. All we do is look at structure. If price is still uptrending, perfect, we'll take those trades. If price starts downtrending, perfect, we'll take those trades. There's no room to guess in this. Outside of that, looking throughout the week, right, Monday looks like a pretty clean day. Tuesday, we have, it's a bank holiday here, and in the CAD and Euro. So Tuesday's market, I'm not really expecting anything too crazy. There's a 80% chance I will be up tonight for Asia session. So if I do end up doing that, I'll turn the stream on. I feel like the music is too loud. Let me know in the chat if the music is good. What's good, Mohammed? You here? What's goody, my brother? My bad, I was locked in looking at this other screen. I didn't have the chat open. Wednesday we have no news, and again, the fact that we have a bank holiday on Tuesday, I am expecting Wednesday's market to be moving pretty quick and pretty early. So there's most likely going to be an Asia session stream Tuesday going into Monday, or Tuesday going into Wednesday as well. Wednesday going into Thursday, we have AUD news overnight, we have GBP news overnight, and we have USD news. But again, government shut down. We already seen how this happened in the last 35 days. There could be news that's on the site right now, but then Thursday morning when we go and look at it, the news isn't there anymore. So we just got to be aware that Thursday there might be a little bit of news, and Friday same thing, there might be some news in the morning for the USD pair. So should be a pretty good week to trade. Shouldn't be too much of a hassle. It should be pretty calm for the most part. But again, at the end of the day, for me, you know, I've been slacking off at looking at Forex Factory and looking at the news. Because again, structure tells us everything. If we're trending, we can catch a trade. If we're in a zone of consolidation, we know we just got to sit on our hands. So it's fairly simple. right? It's just about really being aware, like, okay, there's news at this time. If you're in a trade or if you're looking to get into a trade, just be aware that that news could hit and price could just fluctuate, do whatever it wants to do during that time. Usually that's why you guys see 9 out of 10 times I do not participate in news trading. That's just how I learned, you know, forever. I started learning how to trade in 2017, 2016, and from that point on, the first thing I was taught, if you're trading news, do not trade 15 minutes before, don't trade 15 minutes after. That's it. If you have an entry 15 minutes after news to catch a continuation, you go ahead and do it. If there's an entry 15 minutes before news and everything looks good, then take the trade. If it's following the structure, take the trade. But if I'm not trading during the time of the news, I wait, give it a couple minutes, 15, 30 minutes, and then go into the markets again. So, any questions again, guys, before we get started, let me know. Let me close my window real quick because it's raining. Fuck. Alright, I'm back, my bad. What's good, Mr. Albert? Welcome, welcome. Again, guys, any questions about what I just talked about, let me know. If not, we will get started. It's supposed to be getting cold here. I just don't know when. Let me check. Let me know if the music is good, guys, by the way, in the chat. Let me know if it's too loud, if I need to turn it down. Just let me know. Right now, it is 76 degrees and it's raining. And tomorrow should be at 45. That's crazy. And not even tomorrow morning. That's tomorrow at night going into Tuesday. But it should be fairly cold tomorrow morning. 60 degrees. It should be cold all day tomorrow. 60 degrees. That's not bad. 37 on Tuesday, bro. Like, hello? We're finally getting into that winter. The winter vibes here in Florida. Volume is good? Alright, perfect. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. What's happening with Eric? Tell him we said hi. He's chilling. Today's his girl's birthday's today. But these last like 2 weeks or so, he's been fixing his car. Long story short, the mechanics over there where he's at fucking suck. So he's been having to do all the work himself. I think I called him yesterday or before yesterday, and he was showing me all the work that he got done with the car. So he's been chilling, man. Again, like, you know, it's like what we've been saying all year. Again, like, Eric is, he does what he wants, man. He has a fabulous life. You know what I mean? Like, if he's not really, the one thing he said when he took a step back from teaching, like, if he comes back to it, he's gonna come back to it on his own time. You know, and it isn't until he puts in that green light again when he says, alright, yo, I'm back, and we're back for good. Until he doesn't say that, you know, you'll see him in and out like you've seen him this entire year. Guess you guys are heading towards winter. We mostly have summer all year. Yeah. Yeah, our winters, at least here in Florida, you know, Florida's a little bit different than the other states up north, but usually our winter starts about this time around of the year, second week of November, up until up until probably February, and then like here and there from February all the way till April, it's a little bit like it could get cold, but For the most part, we only got like a month and a half, 2 months of actual cold weather. But it's not too bad. Again, I'm in Florida, so it's not like we got snow or anything. It just gets cold. It's comfortable. Our winter is usually just a lot of rain. Like I said, like right now is raining, and then tomorrow is gonna be super cold. So it's like that's also why we get. That's also why we get a little sick. The change of weather here is crazy. He fixes cars too, bro. He's living the dream. I mean, he doesn't fix cars, but you know, he used to before trading. You know, in his younger life, he what is that he did? I don't know what he did, bro. He was in aviation school. So you know, he learned a lot from there. Damn, ours is till April? Yeah. It's not too bad. It's a breath of fresh air here when it gets cold, because year long it's just 90 degrees, 100 degrees, and humid. Or it'll be 80 degrees and it's raining, and then after it rains it says it's 70, but it feels like it's in 90 because it's hot, humid. Yeah, it's horrible. So I like the cold weather here in Florida. It makes it better. It's 59 right now. No, right now is like what I just said. Fucking 80 degrees and it's raining. Like today, yesterday was, I think it was 97 yesterday. It was a beautiful day yesterday. Then today has just been, the rain has been on and off. Tomorrow is supposed to be clear skies, and we're waking up at 60 degrees. So these next couple days, yeah, like it's gonna be, I think the lowest is 37, and just blue skies, right? It gets so beautiful here when it's like that. That's what I love about Florida. Alright, so we'll get started now, guys. So like I said, if there's no questions in the chat, you know, I'll be doing these pairs one by one. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to let me know in the chat. If there's no questions, we're just gonna get through these pairs again fairly quick. I'm gonna do these sessions like if I were to be just doing my charts on my own. Again, we'll do a full little breakdown. You know, we'll go top to bottom daily, 4 hour 30. We'll talk about what we gotta talk about. If there's not really anything that catches my attention, then we're just gonna go ahead and lock in and go on to the next pairs until we get to the end. So again, the session shouldn't really take longer than 30-45 minutes. Just catching up with the chat. Alright. Alright, so let's get started, guys. So AUDUSD, we know we are in level 3 on a downtrend, right? We had from peak high to the bottom, we have push number 1, level 1 on a downtrend. The first zone of consolidation, which is A1. Then you have the second push to the bottom. You have the second zone of consolidation. And then you have the break of structure that started push number 3 that happened here. And when we're looking at the structure, you have lower low, lower high, lower low, equal highs. Then price came down, right? Just consolidated, never gave us a new high, never gave us a new low, up until price gave us the break of structure that happened down here and gave us a lower low. We know that our target, where our level 3 is going to end up, is our previous peak lows. So we know that we're looking for level 3 to give us these pushes back down to the bottom. What we're looking for right now in the internal time frames, and if we just zoom in on the daily time frame, all we're looking for is for price to give us the lower low that was set to then give us a lower high, right? So at one point, you know, everybody thought that these were going to be the lower highs to then continue, and it continued to push to the top side. Then everybody thought that these were going to be the lower highs to continue down to the downside, but then it continued to push to the top side. then everybody thought that this is going to be the lower high to continue to push down to the bottom side. My 2 points of interest that I have were these highs up here, and my second point of interest is for price to just go a little bit higher to fill this 30-minute gap up here, and this is where we'll start looking for price to continue these downtrend pushes. Now again, all we just got to do is go on to the lower time frames to really see what price is doing. This is where we go now into the 4-hour time frame, and we start seeing how price is moving on the lower time frames. On the 4-hour, we know that price is still on an uptrend. We had higher high, higher low, higher high. Price tapped into our daily engulfing candle that was a set higher low, came back to the top side, but you can see that internally, price was still creating lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and it came back down. So last week, this is where we were getting our charts ready. And again, nothing that you see here drawn is in hindsight. I just want to make that crystal clear. Just want to make that crystal clear. I said this last week. I'm going to keep these drawings here so you guys could see how fucking accurate this is. Right? Last week we spoke about something. What did we say? How price reacted for the last 2.5, 3 weeks. It looks like price wants to give us a shoulder head shoulder. Now, why would the market makers give you a shoulder head shoulder in this area? Is to start inducing the traders who are into these short positions already and trap them and keep price going to the top side, or vice versa. All the traders who are in these trades going long, right, who thought that this was going to be the 4-hour higher low to continue to the higher high, all these traders in the long position, the market makers could be ready to start liquidating them, go opposite, and that's okay. This is why market structure is key. It allows me to understand that yes, every day the market is moving. Do you need to capitalize on the market moving every single day? No. But it all depends on your style of trading. If you're a scalper, you may have a different response to that question. If you're a swing trader, you also might have a different response to that question. If you're a day trader, you're gonna have a different response to that question. So again, for me personally, structure is key. I'm only trading with the trend. What does that mean? Since AUDUSD, we know it's in an overall downtrend, I'm only looking for short positions. So when I mark up my charts, I want to make sure that the daily time frame is downtrending. I want to make sure that the 4-hour time frame is downtrending, and I also want to make sure that the 30-minute is downtrending. Once every single time frame, daily, 4-hour, and 30-minute, once those 3 time frames are moving together and they're downtrending together, that's when I'll start looking to take the trade. Why? It's very simple. On the 4-hour time frame, we are still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Could price, even though internally we could see a shoulder head shoulder, internally we could see lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Again, on the 4-hour time frame, we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Could price just be making a double bottom here? Right? Could price just be making a double bottom in these areas to then continue back to the top side to continue this 4-hour trend? Absolutely. So all the traders who are currently in these short positions early before the shoulder head shoulder is broken, if you get trapped into these trades and you take short positions and you go straight to stop loss, you already know why. Right? It has nothing to do with the market makers are looking at your screen. It has nothing to do with the margins or the spreads. It has nothing to do with, oh, I went to the casino today and they took my money. It's okay, I'll come back tomorrow. It has nothing to do with that. If you take these short positions when price is still at a higher low and you take a short position at a higher low, you know that there is a 90% chance that you are going to get stopped out. So now, hey Lewis, hey Jumper, what would you be looking for before you take a trade? Great fucking question. Great question. First and foremost, in order for a valid shoulder head shoulder, in order for a shoulder head shoulder to be valid, you want to wait for the break of structure of the first shoulder that was printed. Have we gotten that break of structure? No. Price is still creating that shoulder head shoulder. Right now, it's still too early to get into these trades. Again, however, you go on YouTube and you go on these other mentors quote unquote mentors, let me put it that way. You go into these social media marketing gurus, you go into their Instagram pages, and they're already in these trades. They're already in this trade. They're trying to get ahead of the game. Cool. That's why they have a 40% win rate. They're trying to get ahead of the game in a game where it's supposed to be they move, then we move. When the market makers play their hand, then we play our hand. It's not the other way around. Because right now, if the market makers wanted to just fake everybody out, they could go right back up here. And we see it on the internal time frame. We go to the 30-minute. What is price doing? Double bottoms. It's trapping everybody. Lower low, lower high, right? You went back, lower high, boom, lower low. You thought price was going to make a continuation to make lower lows, just started fucking consolidating. Trapping all the traders. Trapping everybody. Right? So you want to just make sure that when you're trading with the overall trend. Once you follow the trend, again, Steve Morrow said this the best. The trend is your friend. If you're trading with the trend, it's going to be very difficult to lose. If you're trading counter trends, you're taking short positions at a higher low, you already know you lost half of the battle. Again, could you still win? Absolutely. And again, this is where it all comes into perspective. You could 100% be profitable with a 40% win rate. There's no doubt. No doubt about it. But how much harder is trading when you're trading at a 40% win rate compared to somebody who's trading at an 80% win rate, a 75% win rate, 85% win rate, a 90% win rate? It's so much easier when you have a higher win rate. So just put it in perspective. So once again, right now for AUDUSD, I'm still going to be waiting. I'm not going to be taking any trades on AUDUSD until we get until we get price to break below the lows of the shoulder head shoulder. And once price turns around on the 4-hour time frame, again, we're still trading at a higher low. Once price breaks these higher lows and creates a lower low and gives us a change of character, that's when I'll really start looking to take the trades. So we just want to be patient right now. Could we also wait for price to change character below? Yep, that's what I was just talking about. Regardless, before I take a trade here, not only do I want to see the break below the shoulder head shoulder, but I want to see the break of the lows on the 4-hour. Because again, yes, even though we give the break here, it's like what I drew out last week. Even if price gives you a break of the shoulder head shoulder, could it still be an inducement to respect the 4-hour lows and continue the push to the top side? Absolutely. And this is why you see that I have this drawn here. I'm not looking to take a trade here to then go short here. No. I'm looking for the break of the 4-hour lows. Once we get a break of the 4-hour lows, once we get that change of character, that's when I'll really start looking to take trades. And if price gives us a change of character on the 4-hour, gives us a lower high, and then gives us a break of structure after the change of character, that's when I'll really start looking to take the trades back down to the bottom. So right now, I'm just going to be patient with AU. I like the shoulder head shoulder that we've been able to draw out. Picture perfect, is doing exactly what we talked about last week. Right, and right now on the 30-minute time frame, price is doing exactly what it needs to do. It gave us a change of character, it gave us a break of structure, it gave us a retest, it gave us a continuation. Price gave us the lower low, lower high, and now we're just in a little zone of consolidation. Price is just trapping traders at these lows. So right now for AUDUSD, we just got to be a little patient. I don't like playing music out of the speaker because it just distracts me for some reason. I might pause this. I'm just going to lower the music. It is what it is. I can't hear it. So AUDUSD, we're just going to be patient. AUDCAD, we're in the first zone of consolidation on a downtrend. We're in A1. Again, A1 is the first zone of consolidation on the downtrend. We had push number 1 and then this first zone of consolidation where price is just rejecting highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. Last thing it did was reject the lows, came back up to the highs, and now price, once we just zoom in just a little bit, we can see that price is just consolidating. Rejecting highs, rejecting lows, highs, lows, coming back up to the top side. On the 4-hour time frame, do we have any continuations? Where's the trend? 4-hour time frame, we're trading between the same 4-hour high and 4-hour low. So all of this is just internal movement on the 30-minute time frame. We have a week of drop, which is good. We know we had a daily engulfing at the top of the market. Price respected it, came back down. But currently on AUDCAD, every time frame is still on an uptrend. Daily's on an uptrend, 4 hours on an uptrend, 30-minute is on an uptrend. On the 30-minute, it gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, and then price gave us a change of character, higher high to the top side. So we're trading between the 30-minute high and the 30-minute low. We have 2 days of drop. Price went down on Friday. It filled up that gap that was here at the bottom of the market, which is amazing. Right? Could we be looking for a 372? We could be. But again, as of right now, this is still a very low probability trade to take, just based on the facts that we're trading still in a higher high, higher low situation. So we're going to be patient with AUDCAD. Definitely we'll be looking for an entry. But we'll be a little bit patient with AUDCAD. All of this is just internal time frame. Even on the internal, you can see that we had this marked up on the 5-minute. Price gave us a change of character. So let's go to the 5-minute. Right, on the 5-minute, we had lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price gave us a change of character, lower low, lower high, and then gave us a break of structure, lower low. So, you know, could we be looking for a 5-minute entry on AUDCAD? It could be possible. So we'll definitely keep an eye on AUDCAD. So let me write this down in the Discord as well. Give me 1 second. Vice Trading Academy, daily watch list. What was the last session we did? What day was it? 26 or the 2nd? We don't have one. Okay. The 26th. We'll use this one. It is what it is. Daily watch list. Copy and paste, and this is for 11/10/2025, and this is AUDCAD, looking for the 372 continuation going looking for 372 continuation going short. Entry on 5-minute time frame. Again, guys, any questions, just let me know. Euro AUD. Daily time frame, we are in level 3 on an uptrend. Right, we have a double bottom, push 1, first zone, push 2, second zone, push number 3. We're expecting push number 3 to be into our previous peak highs at the highs over here. On the daily and 4-hour time frame, price gave us a higher high, gave us a higher low, and then price just started moving sideways. We had 2 months where price was pushing down, but that's okay. That's moving counter trends. On the 4-hour time frame, price gave us 2 weeks of counter drop. On the 3rd week, which was last week, price came down, gave us a new low, and finished at the top. So we have a weaker rise. No continuations for right now. And on the 30-minute time frame, price gave us a change of character. It gave us the break of structure. It gave us a retest, and it gave us that push to the top side. We had a 1-day rise on Thursday, and then Friday, price ended up finishing on a day of drop. Right, then price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price gave us these lows still that price hasn't tapped into. But we are trading between these highs over here and these lows down here. So we'll see what price wants to do with Euro AUD. Here was good, candle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For EUROCAD, we are in previous peak high territory. We had 3 months of rise. On the 3rd month, which was last month, gave us a rise drop. Could we be expecting price to continue these continuation, higher highs and higher lows. Let's take a look. On the 4-hour time frame, price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high. Price came down, tapped into our 4-hour lows. Did it give us a valid break? It did not. Price did not give us a valid break of these lows. So I'm not going to mark this up just yet as a lower low change of character, but it is good to keep note of this. We had a weaker rise, and then on the 30-minute, price gave us a change of character. It gave us a change of character. It gave us the break of structure. So we know that we're still trading between the 30-minute low and 30-minute high. Price tapped into these highs again. At this point, I'm not going to mark this as higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, right? On the 30-minute time frame, I'm not going to do that. All of this is part of the same trend, and we're trading between this higher high over here. These were the higher highs that were made. Higher high, higher low, higher high, and this is the pullback that's given us that higher low push now. We had 2 days of rise. On the 3rd day, price gave us that 3rd day push and ended up on a drop. Could we be looking for a 4th day variation on EURCAD? It could happen. It'll be very interesting to see. Now, the only thing I don't like about this 4th day variation is the fact that the pullback is super steep. So at this point, I'm not expecting a 4th day push to the top side on EURCAD. But again, this is a pair that I'm going to keep an eye on. We'll see if price decides to respect the trend. If it does, then we'll be looking for those uptrend pushes back to the top side. If not, then we could expect price to continue to go down and give us a higher time frame pullback back down to the bottom. What lot size would you say is okay for beginners, trader? For beginning, what lot size would you say is okay for a beginner trader, and is a 15 to 20 pip stop loss okay as a beginner? So there's 2 ways you could attack that question. So the number one thing, your lot size all has to deal with the balance that you have on your account. That's the number one thing, right? There is no such thing as a fixed lot size. There is no such thing as what's an okay amount, right, to trade with. It all deals with how much money you have in your account. Because if you only have $200 on your account, if you only have $100 on your account, if you only have $50 on your account, you can't trade with anything bigger than, depending on the pair that you're trading, you can't trade with a bigger lot size than 20 cents, right? Because then you just blow your account. So that's the number one thing. The second thing is your stop loss, right? A 15 to 20 pip stop loss, is it okay for a beginner? Again, that all deals with what entries you're using, right? On average, or I would say the max lot size that you would want to risk is 23 pips. 23 pip stop loss is the standard stop loss to use when you're trading. However, again, your stop loss also has to deal with what entries you're taking, right? What type of entries are you? What entry rules are you following for that specific pair for that specific day, right? Did the market give you an engulfing candle entry? Did it give you the bounce off the EMAs? Did it give you a gap fill? Did it give you, did it give you one of the patterns, whether it was a type 1, type 2, type 3, or did it give you a candlestick pattern like the flag post patterns? Like, what entry are you using? Right, and this is something that we talk about all the time on the streams. Your stop loss, your entries, your stop loss and your lot sizes all have to deal with what entry rules are you using for that specific pair at the time that you're trading. Because if you're trading, for example, I'm just gonna throw a big pair, right? And I'll use one of the Forex pairs. If you're trading GJ, right? GJ with a 20 pip stop loss, what's gonna be your lot size? Remember, GJ is a very big pair. It's a very expensive pair. So if you're risking 20 pips on GJ, how big is that move? If you're using a 20 pip stop and you only have, again, $100 in your account, understand that you're not going to be trading more than 10 cents. So that question, there's really no good answer for that question, Albert. I can't give you a standard answer for that question. Again, that all deals with what entry you're using and the stop loss that that entry is going to give you. So that's really what it is. At the end of the day, you know, if you want to go standard and you want to treat whatever, I don't know if you're trading a demo account or if you're trading a Propfirm or if you're trading a live account and you deposited money into an account. At the end of the day, for a beginner trader, you shouldn't be risking more than 1%. 2% if you want to feel frisky. And that's just really the golden standard for a beginner trader, understanding that a beginner trader is not going to win 10 trades in a row. You might get lucky, you might. But realistically speaking, the less you risk per trade, the better your chances are at being able to keep that account that you have. Because if you're over here risking 20% per trade, 25% per trade, if you're risking 25% per trade, you could only take 4 losses in a row before you blow your account. Right? If you're risking 10% per trade, you could only trade 10 times in a row. If you lose 10 times in a row, you blow the account. Right? So the best way I could really answer that question is risk 1% of your account. Anytime you take a trade, risk 1%. Wherever you think your stop loss should be to where your entry is at, risk 1%. So I hope that answers your question, Albert. 2 months a rise, third gave a drop, then 2 weeks of drop, third week got a rise. For which pair? Muhammad, are you behind or am I bugging? Which pair are you talking about? EURCAD? It gave us 2 months a rise. Third month, it gave us that third month push. Right? And then on the 4 hour, it gave us 2 weeks of drop. Right? On the third week, which was last week, it gave us that drop and then finished on a rise. I was a little behind. All good, no worries. But it makes sense, right? Because again, price at the end of the day, where were we? We were trading at a higher high. We know that once price is at a higher high, what does price need to do? It needs to give us a higher low. So that's all this was. Price going from a higher high into a higher low. And again, this is the biggest reason, right? That what the fuck moment, right? Thank you for that. Why thank you? Because again, this is the biggest reason why I don't trade peak high. I don't do it. I'm good. I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay. Why? Because we know that in peak high territory, this is where the market makers are trapping traders as well. Peak high, peak low, and zones of consolidations is where the market makers are trapping traders. That's one of the first things that I learned. It was one of the first things I learned. You think I'm going to disrespect that rule? Absolutely not. Only way I'll trade EURCAD, if it gives us a higher low and we can look for continuations into the higher high, which was this month over here, right, or this week over here, which is the beginning of October, which was perfect. I'm looking for the same thing. Higher high was made, I'm looking for a higher low. Once a higher low is made and we see the same thing, change of character, break of structure, continuations back to the higher highs, then we'll take the trade. Did we make an official higher low here? No. We made an inducement of the low, gave us a change of character, lower low. But that's what peak high territory is. Peak high and peak low is where you're going to get trapped out 90% of the time. I'm okay. I look at this chart and I'm thinking the same thing. What the fuck? Yeah. That's just what it is. You know you're in peak high. You know you're in peak low. You're going to be looking at the charts mad confused. You know you're in a zone of consolidation. You know you're going to be looking at the charts mad confused. You know you are. Because that's what those areas were designed for in the markets. So again, my trading is very simple. It's very simple. It's very simple rules. Peak high, peak lows, don't take a trade. You're in a zone of consolidation without a valid break, don't take a trade yet. It's that simple. Those are 3 very simple rules that everybody could follow. You give those rules to somebody in 2nd grade and they'll be able to follow those rules. It's very simple. If there's not something that's crystal clear, I'm not going to take it. I'm not. I'm okay. Trust me, I'm okay. right? So Euro USD, let's keep going. There's a lot of yelling. Give me a minute, guys, before I blow up here. There's a lot of yelling outside right now. I don't know if you guys could hear it, but just give me 1 second. Any questions, guys? Again, feel free to let me know. And I hope that made sense. Or Aubrey, you said yeah, it makes sense. Okay, cool. Mohammed, let me know if what I said about EURCAD. Let me know if that makes sense too. Made sense? Alright, perfect. Alright, so Euro USD. Damn. See, my bad. I'm going off topic here. I was just telling you guys 10 minutes ago how it was raining. It was pouring rain outside. Pouring rain outside. We're talking about pouring. Like, it was ugly. Yo, it's blue skies now. Blue sky. It's 6 o'clock, right? We lost an hour or we gained an hour. I don't know what we did. All I know is the sun is going down. It's getting dark already. It's blue skies right now. The rain has stopped. There's no clouds in the fucking sky. It's blue. That's how Florida is. That's how it's been all day today. It rains like crazy for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it stops. And then it gets beautiful. And then it gets cloudy again. And then little droplets of rain fall. And then it stops. And then it gets beautiful again. It's been like that all day today. It's crazy. And people wonder why we get sick down here. Then you walk into the house and it's fucking 60 degrees in the house, man. Like, hot as shit outside and humid. Then you step in the house and it's cold as shit. There's no medium. Think about it, I got home and I went straight to the garage. I stayed in the garage the entire time until I did the session. And then I got into the room at 4:30. I said I was going to start the stream at 5. I posted the link. I did everything I had to do. And I went into bed and I just covered myself with the blankets. That's how cold it is in here. 30 minutes, I was just under my covers. I was like, yo, I'm not getting out of here. I'm freezing. I have my hoodie on. I got my sweatpants on. I got socks on. I'm about to have to buy gloves. I'm about to start fucking getting on my computer with gloves on. It's crazy, bro. So Euro USD, we know we're in an overall uptrend, right? We are in level 2 on an uptrend. We had peak low territory, push number 1, level 1. We had the first zone of consolidation on an uptrend, which is V1. And then you have the break of structure of the zone of consolidation, where price gave us the break, gave us a higher high, higher low, and we know that we are trading at a higher high. So daily time frame, no continuations. Daily time frame, we know we're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. On the 4-hour time frame, we know that we are trading between higher high, higher low, and higher high. So on the 4-hour, again, everything is color coordinated. You have the 4-hour lows, which are blue, the daily highs and low that are gray, and then the 30-minute highs and low that are red. So 4-hour time frame, we're still on an uptrend. Daily time frame, we're still on an uptrend. On the 4-hour, we had 2 weeks of drop. Last week being the 3rd week. Oh, I got hiccups now. Last week being the 3rd week, it gave us a 3rd week low, and then we ended up finishing as a week of drop. Oh, I'm sorry, as a week of rise. Damn, I just got hiccups all of a sudden. What happened? And then on the 30-minute time frame, let's come back over here because I had this up here. On the 30-minute, price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price last week, on Wednesday, after it gave us a lower low, it gave us a higher high change of character on Thursday. On Friday, it gave us a higher low. And then on Friday, when the markets opened for the end of Asia going into London, we ended up getting a break of structure, higher high. So we know that we are trading between these 30-minute highs up here. These 30-minute lows over here. I'm going to use this entire zone here. Uh, 5295, 5295. Okay. And we had 2 days of rise. On the third day, which was Friday, price ended up giving us that third day push to the top side. We started off the week with a gap in the market. We know that gaps in the market reset the trend. Could we be looking for another push to the top side? It could happen. However, there's two things, and there's a few things I want to talk about with EURUSD. First and foremost, price reached the 800 EMA, price respected the 800 EMA, and started downtrending on the 800. If we go down to a lower time frame, we'll see that. Right, started making lower lows and lower highs. We know that price respects the 800 EMA. So what are the odds that price is going to respect the change of character and break of structure? It's very low odds. On top of the fact that we have a gap in the market as well, odds just went way out of our favor that price is going to continue to push back to the top side. When we're looking at the trend, when we're looking at where we're at and what we're looking for as well, again, EURUSD, my first point of interest as to where this higher low is going to be set is right by the 4-hour lows, which is where the daily time frame 200 EMA is at. So right now for EURUSD, I am still expecting price to continue these downtrend pushes back down to the bottom. So again, EURUSD is a pair I'm going to keep an eye on for sure. Going to keep a very close eye on EURUSD, but it's not a pair I'm going to put on my watch list. I'm just going to keep an eye on it, have a mark where, hey, keep an eye on EURUSD just in case. But right now, EURUSD is not on my list. As of right now, we're just going to take it easy with EU, which you guys will see it's going to be very similar to GU. Once everything starts moving piece by piece, that's when I'll start looking to take those trades. Alright, we're going to speed it up a little bit here, guys. It's already been an hour. So again, any questions, just let me know. If not, we're going to get through these fairly quickly here for the last couple pairs. Again, the last pair that's really on our list is going to be NU, possibly also oil. All the other pairs below GU is just, you know, again, peak high for US30, peak high for gold, Bitcoin. I'm not trading it. USDCAD and USDZAR, who knows what they're doing. So there's really nothing I could really talk about with these last couple pairs. But again, any questions, just let me know. Feel free to stop me. If not, we're gonna get through these last couple pairs fairly quick. So GA, we know that we are in peak high territory, so this is still a pair that I am not going to be trading. So we could just skim through this. 4-hour time frame, see if we need to update anything. 4-hour time frame, price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low. We still have this gap at the top of the market. We had 2 weeks of drop. On the third week, price did not give us that third week low. We ended up getting a week of rise. It's no problem. And then on the 30-minute, we are still trading between higher high, higher low, higher high, and it gave us a change of character, lower low to the bottom. So even when we're looking at the 30-minute structure for GA, we're not really trading within a 30-minute structure. This is all internal structure that we have. And we had a change of character here, and we have the break of structure here on the 5-minute. Right, lower low, lower high, boom, lower low. Price consolidated, 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 and then gave us the change of character here. Higher high, higher low, and then gave us a break of structure, higher high. We had a day of rise on Thursday. On Friday, price ended up just giving us a no nut. So we have no continuations as of right now for GA, but this could be a good pair, very similar to EU. We could keep a very close eye on GA. I like the fact that on the 30-minute we broke above the 800 EMA. I like the fact that on the 5-minute we have the change and the break. So we'll keep a close eye on GA for sure. But again, this is a pair in peak high. What I'll be targeting either way. Would love for price to start these pushes to the top side to fill this gap. Once price fills this gap, that's when I'll start either looking for price to continue going back down, or this is where price is going to just continue these uptrend pushes and continue a push back to the top side. So GA, we're going to keep an eye on it for the week as well. For GCAD on the daily time frame, we are in level 3 on an uptrend. We're expecting price to reach our previous peak highs at these highs over here. We had push number 1, first zone, push number 2, second zone, and then we have push number 3 where price is still looking like it's consolidating, but when we zoom in and we look at the candles and what price is doing, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and price came back down here, gave us a higher low. We have 3 months of rise. On the third month gave us a rise drop. Am I expecting a fourth month variation? Again, I'm not expecting it, just due to the fact that we have such a steep pullback at the end of the month last month. However, we have all of November left for price to do what it needs to do, and we'll continue to look at market structure. 4-hour time frame, we're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Price came down, gave us a higher low. Cool. We had 2 weeks of drop. This week being the third week, price gave us that third week low, and we ended up finishing on a week of rise. We have no continuations right now for GCAD on the 4-hour. And on the 30-minute time frame, again, price just gave us a lower low to the bottom side. We had 2 days of rise on the third day. Price gave us that third day high and finished on a drop. Very similar to the other pair that was on the 800 was a GA. Right? Even though we have a rise drop, am I expecting a 4th-day variation to the top side? No, for 2 reasons. The number one reason, we have such a steep pullback to the bottom side. The second reason is the 800 EMA. Price respected the 800 and came back down. So GCAD right now is still a pair that I would love to keep an eye on. But before I start looking to take trades on GCAD, I want to start seeing price trend above the 800 EMA. So we'll be patient with GCAD. I saw a lot of losses last week on GJ, man. You guys got to get a grip. Guys got to get a grip. GJ, we're still in an uptrend. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Price came down, gave us a higher low, then gave us a zone of consolidation. Gave us the break of the zone of consolidation where price gave us a higher high on the 4-hour time frame. Came down, gave us a higher low. And looks like price wants to continue. We have this gap at the bottom of the market, which I would have loved to have seen price fill that gap up first before starting a push to the top side. But again, we already know that gaps don't have to be filled right away. On the 4-hour time frame, we had a weaker drop last week. This week, price ended up giving us a no net. So we have no continuations on the 4-hour time frame. And on the 30-minute time frame, price is still on a little downtrend. We had lower low, lower high, lower low. Right? Price gave us a no net on Thursday, and then on Friday, price gave us a day of rise. Let's keep this here. Price opened up with an engulfing candle? No way. Bottom wick on that green candle, there's no bottom wick, so not a valid engulfing candle. On the 1-hour time frame, same thing, no valid engulfing candle on the bottom. 15-minute time frame, same thing, no engulfing candle because there is no bottom wick on that candle. 5-minute time frame, no engulfing. 1-minute time frame, same exact thing. Not a valid engulfing candle. There's no bottom wick on the green candle, and there's no top wick on that red candle. So we'll be patient with GJ. How do you see the losses? Other take is that on Forex Factory. Mostly Forex Factory. They have the not Forex Factory. Sorry. My FX book. They have a list of not they it doesn't show the traders, but it shows a list. It has like a little a bar graph showing you, like, for example, EURUSD, there's 1,000 traders going short and 2,000 traders going long, and it'll show you that. But mostly just social media, bro. All the people posting their stories on Instagram and posting on Twitter, X, all the people who post on their YouTube feed as well. You can make posts on the YouTube feed, so just seeing it like that. But for the most part, a lot of it is my FX book, and then what you see online. For GU, like I said earlier, very similar to EU in where we're at overall and what we're looking for. The biggest difference is that GU on the daily time frame already reached what we wanted to see, which was the 200, and it disrespected the 200 and ended up going shorter than the 200. We know we are in level 2 on an uptrend. We have push number 1, first zone of consolidation. We had the start of push number 2 that gave us the break of structure of the zone of consolidation, where price gave us higher high, higher low. And this is the start of level 2 back to the top side, where price gave us the higher high. Right, so on the daily, we know we're trading higher high, higher low, which is the gray box, higher high, which is the gray box at the top side, and now we're just looking for a set higher low to be made. We have no continuations on the daily. On the 4-hour time frame, price is still on a downtrend. It gave us a change of character, lower low, lower high, and it gave us the break of structure down to the bottom, lower low. So right now, GU is still on a downtrend. As soon as we make that higher low, and as soon as price starts giving us higher highs and higher lows on the 30-minute time frame, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades again. So we know that we're trading between these lows down here. We had 2 weeks of counter drop on the third week, which was last week. Price gave us that third week low, and we ended up on a no net. Price just moved sideways last week. We also know that on the 4-hour time frame, price gave us a beautiful engulfing candle over here. And this is a 4-hour engulfing. And on the 30-minute time frame, price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, then gave us a change of character, higher high, which happened here. That's not what I wanted to do. This is the change of character. So we are now trading between these lows and these highs over here. 31746, 31748. We had 2 days of rise on the third day, which was Friday. Price ended up giving us 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. So we'll be patient with GU before we start looking to take any trades. If price prints an engulfing candle and the retest of the engulfing is an inducement but does not break below the engulfing candle, does it make it valid? No, if we'll draw it out here because maybe I'm misunderstanding, but if price prints an engulfing candle, that was a horrible drawing, all good. Alright, if price prints an engulfing candle, and you said the retest of the engulfing, meaning that you have another candle, right? So boom, you have the retest of the candle. Is an inducement but does not break below the engulfing candle. So you're saying if the retest goes down and induces these lows. Is this what you mean, Albert? Let me know. If this happens in the market, does it make it valid or invalid? Let me know if that's the question. But to answer the question with this drawing here as well, if price prints an engulfing and then the candle that retests the engulfing candle, if it goes down and it goes below the area, if it goes below these lows, then no, it's invalid. It's not a valid entry. It's not a valid area to look for a trade. It's invalidated. If price goes below the lows or vice versa, if it's an engulfing candle going short and the next candle, the retest, goes above it, then it's invalidated. So this is not a valid entry. I ran out of water. Kendall, bring me some more water, please. It works. Yeah, no, it's not valid. If it does it with a body, or even if it does it with the wick, it's still not valid. Price cannot go below. Because if you, let's say you take the trade route on the retest and it goes straight to stop loss, you know that you're pretty much you're out of the trade, right? It'll hit your stop loss if you end up doing something like this. So no, it's not valid. Kendall sleepy? Breakup sucks. Trading heals the pain. Yo, lock in, bro. What are we talking about here? You say I'm fucking emotional. What the fuck? Lock in. Girls are bad, bro. You know, all 2026, you just gotta chill with the homies. Chill with the bros, you know what I mean? NZD USD, we are still in the second zone of consolidation on a downtrend. We are still trading within that second zone of consolidation. On the daily time frame, we have 2 months of drop. Let's take a look and add a few lines here. Again, I'm almost certain that the market makers delete my drawings, but that's okay. I'll let them keep it. If they could hear me, yo, just make sure you store them in a safe place. Don't let just anybody fucking take my notes, please. Please, I beg. Right, so we have 2 months of drop. Price on the third month, which is this month, already gave us that new lower low, which we will see on the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, price has given us lower low, lower high, and gave us another lower low down to the bottom. So let's grab a line here, make this lower low over here, and we are now trading between, what is this? Whoa. Okay, hold on. Let's take a step back real quick. Damn it. Whatever. Nope. Alright. What was that about? What is this? Why I have so many fucking lines here? Yo, the market makers, man. The market makers. Alright, let's figure this out. What line is this? This is Friday. That's supposed to be Sunday at 17. And this is supposed to be Sunday at 17. And that's supposed to be Sunday at 17. And this is supposed to be 17. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Okay, perfect. Then we had 2 weeks of drop. And then we have on the 30-minute time frame, we have 2 days of drop. We have lower low, lower high, lower low. Now, we see that we have 2 weeks of drop. We see that we have 2 days of drop. And we have 2 months of drop. Could we be expecting price to continue these pushes down to the bottom? It could happen. Right? And NU looks good, right? It gave us a 4-hour zone of consolidation. It gave us the break. It gave us the retest. It gave us another lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. The only thing I don't like about trading right now on NU is we're still in that zone of consolidation on the daily. We're trading on the 4-hour lower lows. So could price still be giving us the fake outs in these areas? Absolutely. Right? Again, like you guys saw, we could take these trades at the top side. Change of character, break of structure, retest, continuation. Perfect. Taking these trades, trying to take these same exact trades that we took at the top, trying to take them at the bottom of the zone is very low probability. Very, very, very low probability. So NZD USD is not a pair I'm going to put on my watch list right now. The development part just sucks. Yo, hold on, what? Y'all in a relationship? Hey, yo. Cause the daylight saving fucked everything up. This guy Kendall is saying he got a breakup because of daylight saving. What am I reading? Oh, no, I'm bugging. You're saying nah, that is what you said. I'm not gonna correct myself. Yo, daylight saving fucked up your relationship, bro? Come on, lock in. The lines, no, that's not what you meant. I'm not correcting myself. US30, we're in peak high territory. This is another pair that, I trade, US30 is day to day for me. Because right now I could say, I'm not going to trade US30, but I could wake up tomorrow morning and see something juicy. I'm like, I'm trading US30, guys. So I'm not going to say nothing about US30. We're still trading on an uptrend. We're still making higher high, higher low, higher high. 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour engulfing candle. Again, it looks like we're uptrending still. 30-minute time frame, we're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. All right, let's put these lines here. Valid break didn't happen until we were here. All right, so we know that we're trading lower low, lower high, and then boom, these lower lows down here. So right now it's still on a downtrend on the 30-minute. Right, we have a day of drop, which was Thursday, and then Friday. This might as well be a fucking no net, but it is a day of rise. So again, US30 for me, this is a pair. This is more day to day. I don't really like giving my analysis on US30 the days before, or for the isolation sessions or the weekly market breakdown. Especially when there's something that's not crystal clear. And right now there's nothing crystal clear on US30. If you're a higher time frame trader, you think that this is a higher low to continue into the higher highs, right? Daily or 4-hour. But then if you're an internal trader, if you're looking at the 30-minute as well, if you're a scalper and you're looking at the 5-minute, the 1-minute, you're still thinking that this is on a downtrend. So again, for me to not be confused, everything has to line up. Again, every time frame has to be doing the same thing. And right now US30 is not doing that. So US30, like I said, is going to be more of a day-to-day trade. Day-to-day pair to look at. If I look at it in the morning and something looks good, then I'll go ahead and trade it. If there's nothing that's making sense, then I'm just not gonna trade it. Let me they're cooking, bro. That's why my shit's all smoky and shit. Yo, let me I think they're doing barbecue. I'm gonna open up my window real quick. Give me a second. My bad, guys. It's all about time. I pray we all come across good people. Yes, sir. That 4-hour engulfing candle is invalid. I believe it is. It is a valid engulfing. Let me see. Let's dissect it before I say yes or no. My charts just froze. The market makers don't want to see me win. No, it's valid. You have the red, red, green. Each candle has a top and a bottom wick. So it is a valid engulfing. From how it prints and how it looks, it's a valid engulfing. But again, the fact that we're still making lower lows and lower highs, not a valid engulfing. Nope. The gap rule, that's not what you wrote down, bro. If you wrote that down, is incorrect. The gap rule is if any of the 3 candles open up with a gap, is invalid. Red, red, green. Did you have a gap on the red, red, green? No. You had the red candle, you had the red candle, you had the green candle. The gap opened up after the fact. The gap after the 3 candles has nothing to do with it. 30-minute time frame, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. So that's why I'm not marking up that engulfing candle. On USDCAD, this is another one that I'm just going to skip. I'm not going to be trading USDCAD. Where are we in the overall market makers pattern? Who knows? When we're looking at it from the top to the bottom, the reason why we say, or the reason I say who knows, right? We already completed our 3 pushes to the top side, push 1, push 2, push 3, into previous peak high and previous peak highs once we created it. Price gave us an inverse shoulder head shoulder, right? Gave us a shoulder, the head, the shoulder. It gave us the break, right? It gave us the first push. It gave us what looked like the first zone of consolidation on a downtrend. However, price came up and gave us a valid break of the top of the zone of consolidation with 2 months of rise. So when we're looking at structure as well on the daily time frame, we're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Could this be a higher low down here? It could be, right? This could be a continuation. So You know, on one end it looks like price wants to downtrend. On the other end, it still looks like price wants to give us the uptrend continuations. And again, for me, if one time frame is telling me something and the other time frame is telling me something else, I'm just gonna stay away. There's nothing clear for me to trade. That's okay. 4-hour time frame gave us a change of character, higher high, higher low. It gave us the break of structure, higher high, higher low, and then it gave us that continuation back to the top side into this higher high over here. So on the 4-hour time frame, again, we're also on the continuations back to the top side. So USDCAD for me right now is a pair that I'm going to sit my hands. I'm going to sit on my hands, going to be patient, not going to force any trades. If price gives us an entry, it gives us an entry. If it doesn't give us an entry, then it is what it is. It gave us a change of character to the top side, higher high, and we're now trading between these highs over here, and you can see that price just trended the entire time. It gave us these highs over here, and then price gave us a day of drop on Friday. So we'll be patient with USDCAD. No, not the gap, Mehead. You said based off how the candles open, if they don't open right next to each other. Yeah, bro, like, that's what I just literally showed you. That's literally what I just showed you. You're the Mehead. Motherfucker, respect your elders. Turn off this. Maybe it's because the session breaks are on. On the 3 candles, what makes up the engulfing candles? On the 3 candles that printed here, is there a gap? Let's zoom in. Maybe you don't fucking see it because you're blind out of your left eye, you fat fuck. Is there a fucking gap here? No. There's no gaps. You had the red candle, you had the red candle, you had the green candle. Did any of the 3 candles have gaps? Did the red candle open with a gap? No. Did the green candle open with a gap? No. The engulfing candle. That's a valid engulfing candle. Has nothing to do with the 4th candle open. This gap means nothing when it comes to the engulfing candle. Just confirming, but I already told you. I'll say it again though. Let me know if you need me to say it again. Make sure you write this down. Because I told you this yesterday, or whenever the fuck we talked about this, Friday or Thursday. Because when you showed us the gap was on the green candle on that pair that you were looking at, right? I'm telling you, I remember, bro. I might be old, but I fucking have memory like a goddamn eagle. Right? The gap rule that we spoke about is only valid with the 3 gaps. The red, red, green, or the green, green, red. The 4th candle, the retest candle, whatever you want to call the next candle, has nothing to do with it. When you're looking at the engulfing candle, the print for the engulfing is the 3 candles. Yo, you literally were talking about the 4-hour. That 4-hour engulfing candle. Yo, I'm not talking to you no more in the chat. Yo, this is in the chat. Somebody take a fucking screenshot. At 6:17 p.m. candle sprouts. That 4-hour engulfing candle is invalid, right? Maybe I'm fucking crazy, yo. I'm not talking to no crazy person today, bro. In this scenario, where would you have taken the entry? I wouldn't have taken an entry. Because, number 1, there's no entries yet, since we don't have a retest of the engulfing candle. And the second reason why is because this is a bullish engulfing candle when we're still on a downtrend. So in this scenario, I wouldn't be taking an entry. The 4-hour engulfing isn't including the 4th candle. Yo, I don't know if you're trolling me or not. I'm gonna be completely honest with me. I don't know if you're trolling with me or not. Since when? Yo, is the engulfing candle? Is it? So, whoever's in the chat who knows the answer to this, is the engulfing candle 3 candles or is it 4 candles? Just type it in the chat. Is it 3? Just put a number 3, or is it 4? Put a number 4. Join court. I'm not joining court. I'll join court after I'm done with the session. Albert says 3. Perfect. Anybody else want to answer that question? Three. Okay, cool. And I will draw it out for you, Kenda. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. These mentors are charging you guys $1,000, and they would send you guys to hell if you were to ask all these questions in the chat. Red, red, green, or green, green, red. Perfect. Price gives you red candle, and it gives you another red candle here, and then it gives you a green. All right, let's draw the wick so we're not confused. And then you guys say, oh, not valid because the wicks. All right, right, red, red, and then you have the green candle. In the chat, is this a valid engulfing candle? Yes or no in the chat. Just real quick. Either put yes if this is a valid engulfing candle, and put no if it's not a valid engulfing candle. You have the red, red, green. Exactly how I drew it out, guys. Is this a valid engulfing candle? He says maybe. Alright. I'm gonna ban you for a week. I swear to God, I'm gonna ban you for a week, Kendo. I'm gonna ban you for a fucking week. We'll give everybody a chance. Is this a valid engulfing candle in the chat? It's either yes or no. There's no fucking maybe in trading. Maybe in trading, yo, if you're saying maybe in trading, go to the fucking casino. Yo. Maybe you'll become a millionaire in the casino. I could tell you that much. I think he's referring to the red candle open above. I know what he's referring to, and I don't want him to be referring to that because it has nothing to do with the question that he had at hand, which is what I'm trying to explain here in the drawing. Because on Thursday, we went over some rules with the engulfing candle, right? Engulfing candles, Albert says yes. No. Right? No. This is not a valid engulfing candle. Why? If the engulfing candles open with a gap, whether it's the first candle or the second candle or the third candle, if they open with a gap, it is not valid. You zoom into your chart. You could do this on any time frame, and you look at the candlesticks. Right? And US30 is a very bad example of this because US30 opens up with a lot of gaps. But let's zoom in here. What do you notice happens with every single candlestick that opens and closes? Let's start with this candle here. Red candle, boom, closes. Here, the body of the red candle is where the market is closing. It's not the wick, it's the body. At 2:30, right, this is a 30-minute candle. So the transition of the 2:30 candle going into the 3 p.m. candle, right? The red candle closed here, and then the opening candle for 3 a.m. opened right next to it, right? The transition from the 3 a.m. candle to the 3:30 candle, it opened with a gap. Why? Because the red candle closed down here at the body, and if you zoom in, where did the body of the next candle open? It opened up here. So from 3 to 3:30, that 3:30 candle, price opened with a gap here. It came down, it filled the gap, and it came up. The green candle closed here. The next green candle closed, it opened right next to it. Green candle closed. The body of this green candle closed right on it. This green candle closed down here. This green candle here opened right on it. This green candle closed up here, and the next candle opened right next to it. Perfect. So when you're looking at the engulfing candles, it's the same thing. If you're looking at an engulfing candle, right? If you have this red candle here, and the red candle closed here, and then the opening for the next red candle, if it opens lower than it, if it opens higher than it, it's a gap in the market. It's just you won't see it on the 4-hour, you'll see it on a lower time frame. If you go down to the 5-minute or the 1-minute, it'll be a gap in the market. So again, the engulfing candles, the gaps on the engulfing candles are only the first 3 candles. After the engulfing candle is printed, which is the green candle, If the next candle opens with a gap, it doesn't mean anything. It's not part of the engulfing candle. So is this a valid engulfing candle? How it printed? Yes, it's a valid engulfing candle. How it looks, it's a valid engulfing candle. In the area that it printed, when we're looking at market structure, is it a valid engulfing candle? No, because we are still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Price came up and gave us a lower high. Could price come here, give us the retest of the engulfing candle, and just continue back down to make another lower low? Absolutely. So it's the same thing that I just drew here. This is not a valid engulfing candle because you had the red candle, right? And where did the next red candle open? It opened above it. There's a gap in the market. The red candle closed down here. The green candle opened below the red candle's body. That's a gap in the market. So this is not a valid engulfing candle. When you're looking at the engulfing candles, you cannot have gaps in the market. I know that's what you were asking, Ken. I was literally I was answering your question. But there's no, what you were saying is like this gap here. No, this is a valid engulfing candle because it has no gaps. How it drew out, how it looks is a perfect engulfing. Why the candlestick's melting? I think it's because I drew it on the 30-minute. Make sure you guys write that down in your notes. I was talking about the green candle market, the candle shift that I did my markups yesterday. Oh, maybe, yeah, I don't know. This green candle is good on my chart. Thanks for the clarification. No problem. Alright, USDCAD, we did CAD already. Right, USDZAR, we could skip through it, the exact same position as USDCAD. Let's update it though real quick. We're still in the second zone consolidation on an uptrend. We're back at the bottom. 2-month drop. 3rd month, price gave us a no net, just moving sideways. 4-hour time frame, we're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price is giving us a zone of consolidation here. And then we have a week of no net. We have no continuations. And then on the 30-minute time frame, price gave us lower low, gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, change of character, then gave us a higher low, then gave us a higher high break. So we are trading between a higher high, higher low, change of character break on the 30-minute. Let's mark this up real quick. We're trading between these lows down here. Imagine, man, I'm giving you guys gems for free, man. These other mentor, there was a, oh, so the funny story here in Orlando, in one of the Marriott hotels by the park, there's a trader who's doing a seminar there for 3 days. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He charges his students in the seminar. I'm not sure how much he was charging, but to take his course, it's $100 per day. Just think about that. What was his name? I don't know. Man, Q Banks is something else. Hopefully we'll get there someday. Shout out Q, man. That trader's name that's here in Orlando, his name is, damn, I don't have him. What happened? Let me, all tabs, close here. His name is Alejandro Cardona. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. I never heard of him up until yesterday. But yeah, man. Alejandro Cardona. But again, it's just you know, it's just funny, man. I don't know. Never heard of this guy before. Um, you know, nobody that I follow in the trading scene, nobody follows him. I don't see nobody that's really notable to say that follow him. So yeah, it's just crazy, man. He charges motherfuckers $100 a day to take his to for him to be your mentor. Think about that. Joe Danny? Who the hell is Joe Danny? Oh, Jordani. No, he doesn't have a YouTube channel. Mr. JD. Nah, no, he doesn't have a YouTube channel. Another reason why I'm not trading gold, outside of the fact that we're in peak high territory, 30-minute time frame price is just moving sideways. We had 2 days of rise. On the third day, gave us a rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. We're on the 800 EMA still. Price still hasn't given us a break of the 800. Price is still respecting it. So gold for me is very similar to US30. I don't really like giving my analysis on gold the days before. This is a pair that as of recently, these last couple months, pretty much for like half of this year, this has been a pair that I've been just treating day by day. If I get on the charts and I see something, I take it. If I don't see anything, then I don't take it. And again, we're in peak high territory. I'm not really going to mess with this pair like that. We still got gaps everywhere. We got gaps at the top. We have gaps at the bottom. Bitcoin is another pair that I'm currently very respectful of. I'm waiting it out. There's too much news going on. There's too many things going on with Bitcoin for me to trade this comfortably. We have 2 weeks of drop going counter trend. So we just want to be careful. 4-hour time frame and 30-minute time frame are still on a downtrend, while the daily time frame is still on an uptrend. And on the 30-minute, we had a change of character, lower low. And again, very similar to how gold is looking. Once these lower lows were set, price just started moving sideways. Rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, going to the middle. Coming back up to these highs. Right? Coming back to these highs. We still don't have a break. Price is still just respecting these highs. It gave us an exhaustion candle at the top side. Right? So right now, again, Bitcoin for me is a pair that gonna take a step back. Once I see a continuation, so once we have more of a clear view as to where price wants to go, that's when I'll start looking to take those trades. And then last but not least, US oil, we are in level 2 on a downtrend. We had push number 1, the first zone of consolidation, the break of structure that gave us the lower low. It gave us a lower high, and now we're just looking for price from the lower high going back into the lower lows. We had 2 months of drop this month, or I'm sorry, last month being the third month, price gave us that drop. And I believe we finished on a no net. Right, so we have a drop no net. Could we expect price to give us a 4th month push back down to the bottom? Absolutely. Absolutely. 4-hour time frame. Structure, we're trading between a big zone. We have a week of drop. Price went down last week, and then on the 30-minute time frame, price gave us the change of character, lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low, gave us a lower high, and then gave us another lower low down to the bottom. So we are now trading between these 30-minute highs up here and the lower lows down here. We had a drop no net on Thursday, and then on Friday price just moved sideways. Gonna be patient with US oil. Could we look something on the 5-minute? Nah, 5-minute we're still. No, nothing really for us on the 5-minute just yet. We'll be patient with oil. This is another pair that I'm going to be eyeing day to day. So that's pretty much it for tonight, guys. Any other questions, let me know. Anything else you guys want me to go over, anything else you guys want me to explain, let me know. If not, we'll be done with the session and we'll be back again if I decide to stream Asia session, then I'll stream Asia session. If I don't, then we'll be live in the morning. Good shit, great session, no questions. Perfect, Muhammad, no problem. Albert, you good? Kendall, you good? Let me know. Anybody else in the chat, let me know. Any other questions, any other pairs you guys want me to go over, anything else you guys want me to explain, let me know. Good night, Mr. Albert. We'll see you tomorrow, my brother. I just tried taking a sip of water on my fucking empty ass cup. Give everybody another minute or two. Any questions, let me know. Anything else you guys want me to go over? Finna join court? Alright, bet. Alright, so there's no more questions in chat. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.